Hey there, fellow hungry travelers. Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're here in Jerusalem and Israel. And today I want to talk about are some of the things you're going to want to eat when you do come to Israel and Palestine, because honestly, eating here is one of the best parts of coming to Israel because, my gosh, the fresh food and everything, you're going to love it.
So let's start with the things you're going to see the most, which I guarantee you are probably going to have when you're here in Israel. And the first two, they're from that chickpea that came from heaven, because it does give us so many good things. One is hummus, the ground up chickpea paste stuff. You have that, but it's not just like the hummus you use for dip back home. Oh no, here there's restaurants that just focus on hummus. You'll have it so many times. They'll have it at breakfast, lunch, dinner. It'll be in one of those salads you have like right next to in your pita with your shawarma. It'll be smeared in there. But hummus, and more hummus you're gonna have when you're here. I know Liam and I and Caleb and I both went out to dinner just for some father-son time. Both went to a hummus place. We had hummus with chickpeas in it, hummus with mushroom in it. I had hummus that had like stuffed peppers too. I mean, you're going to have hummus when you're here. It's like a requirement. You're going to have it. There's no way around it. It's one of those things, all right? Now, another chickpea thing is when you have a ground up chickpea and you fry it up, it's called falafel. Oh my goodness, falafel. You have these beautiful brown balls with a green, chickpea inside. Oh my gosh, it is so good when you have it. And that flavor you get from it is nothing like you have at home. Because I know you could go to a Middle Eastern restaurant back home, you have hummus, and a lot of times they're like overly fried and there's grease inside. Oh, no. The hummus here, they get that oil really hot and then they drop those balls so it seals in the coating, so you get that moist interior of the falafel here with a crispy outside, and maybe you'll have it in some pita bread, or maybe you have it by itself, or it'll be one of the salads they bring out when they bring out all these plates, and I'll talk about that later. And one of those little plates may have some falafel balls in there. So look, hummus and falafel guaranteed to have when you're here. Guaranteed so much that probably you're going to think, do they eat meat here? And I'll talk about the vegetarian and fantastic option you have as a vegan and vegetarian here. But if you need some meat, kind of like the go-to meat, and also a really good cheap way to eat when you're here, is shawarma. And what shawarma is, it's whenever you go around, you see that meat like on a stick that's rotating around. They have that and they shave it off. So usually it's chicken, but there could be turkey versions of shawarma, and they shave that off, so you have these little bits of meat, and it just, with the flavoring they have in it, it's so good. But you'll have that, and you can have a plate of it with some salad, so you just have a big plate of the shawarma meat. Or if you're looking for a cheap quick bite or on-the-go bite, you have your shawarma in a pita, okay? And so you have that pita, and one side they'll put the hummus at the bottom, they'll put some of the shawarma in there. I actually like the turkey one the best, actually. That was really good. Then they'll put the salads in there. There's some tomato cucumber salad. You can ask for other things you want. Tahini will be in there as well, which is also made from chickpea, which is a sauce you're going to have here a lot. And then some more of the shawarma. I like to put some more tahini on top as well. But that's something you can have and you're just going to love when you're here. Another thing I think I'm going to pretty much guarantee you're going to have when you go to hotels, and you go to the big breakfast at the hotels here, is shakshuka. I know I'm butchering the words. Please, for my Israeli friends, please correct my pronunciation down in the comments below so that travelers that come to Israel actually order the right food and not mess it up like I do with mine. But honestly, you don't have to worry about it too much here in Israel. The people are wonderful. They'll help you make sure you get the right food. And if you're ordering something that doesn't quite go together, don't be surprised if your waiter indicates yo, you should probably go for this instead. But anyway, shakshuka is what it is. It's poached eggs in like a tomato onion sauce. It's got a little spice to it, a little kick to it, but it's actually really good. But honestly, you'll see a big, huge cooking pan of it in the buffets at the hotels and stuff. But also if you go out for breakfast, you can get that too. And it's available throughout the day, but it's, for me, since it's got eggs in it, I just feel like it's more of a breakfast thing. But that's my biases, so don't let that stop you from getting it any time of the day. Now, switching to a sweet that you're definitely going to see when you're here and probably have when you're here a few times is baklava. And baklava's in a lot of countries. Israel's no different. They love that. And here they love their puff pastry. Honestly, anything puff pastry, you'll be okay when you're here. But what it is, it's the puff pastry, or phyllo dough puff pastry, however you want to call it. And it's like nuts soaked in honey and a syrup on top. It's very sticky, but it's oh so good when you're here.
Now, when you are eating here in Israel, one thing you want to make sure you're looking out for are the bakeries when you're here. There's fantastic breads and pastries here. You can't go wrong. Borek, which is basically phyllo pastry, cooked and baked up with some filling in there, the cheese, the sweet cheese in there. There's a lot of different things you can get in it, but honestly, the boreks you can't go wrong with. Another thing I really love is the breads that you have when you're here. That's going to be good. I think one thing you want to have is you're here in Jerusalem, you want to have Jerusalem bread, which looks like a kind of flattened bagel, but they put za'atar in it, and you want to put a lot of the za'atar in it. Like, you'll see za'atar as a spice when you're here. Get it in there because it is fantastic. Another really good bread that you can get on the street when you're in Jerusalem and some other places is actually date bread. And what it is, it's like a yellow bread, and it's yellow because of the saffron that's in it, but they put dates in it, and it's like the sweetness from the dates just really, really set it off. So that's another thing you really need to have when you're here in terms of the bakery kind of stuff. But just honestly, go to the bakery, see something looks good, and grab it when you're here in Israel. You will not go wrong, because they do a fantastic job with the bakeries here, okay? And if you're just staying at hotels and just getting food from there, believe me, you'll see the burek when you're there at breakfast time, but also you want to get their chocolate croissants that are here. And this isn't like other places where they kind of shoot chocolate into the croissant. Oh, no. It's like a layer of chocolate is put in on top of the dough, and then they roll it. Oh my God, they're so good. So be a fat person like me and enjoy them when you're here, because those chocolate-looking croissants, I mean, you get them at gas stations, you get them at bakeries, you get them at hotels. Can't go wrong. Now, my vegetarian and vegan friends, you will not have a problem here in Israel because there's so many vegetarian and vegan options that you will literally, even if you're not a vegetarian or vegan, you could turn it while you're here and not even realize it. And one of the things is the salads. Like, you get plate after plate after plate of different kinds of salads when you go to an Israeli restaurant, and that can actually fill you up on itself. And what's cool is there'll be cabbage-based ones, there'll be parsley salad, there'll be all kinds of stuff. You might see beans popping up there, shredded carrots. There's all kinds of great salads when you're here. And when you go and drive around the country, you can actually get salads, not just the stuff they bring like 10 plates for you for, but an actual salad at a restaurant or a cafe or a bar, actually really big enough usually to fill you up, which is really nice. And that's one of the things I really enjoy here is you can feel healthy when you're eating because they give you so many good, tasty, healthy options. Because, you know, some places have a vegan or vegetarian option. You're like, oh, that sounds very vegan or vegetarian, like not in a good way. But this one's like, oh my God, that's really good. Oh, and it has to be good for you. So that's one of those things. And you'll see that in just the vegetables on offer here, you know, from the eggplants all over the plate. You know, baba ganoush, there you go. Baba ganoush is made with eggplants. It's like an eggplant dip you're going to have. And believe me, you'll have it because it'll be next to the hummus at the breakfast buffet, or it'll be in one of those little bowls they bring you with all the with all the salads and stuff. So that's really nice. But eggplant will pop up all over the place. Sweet potato as well. I mean, I've had sweet potato like 5 times. It's like, wait, it's not even Thanksgiving, and I'm eating sweet potatoes. Like, man, yes, you had that when you're here too. But the bread you're gonna have the most when you are here is pita. I mean, there's no way around it. Whether you have it at breakfast, lunch, or dinner, with your hummus at breakfast, lunch, or dinner, pita is going to pop up all over the place, so you'll have that. When you go to restaurants, they might just drop some off for you anyway, so you will have that when you're here. Don't worry, pita will be there. Even if you don't have hummus, pita will be there, okay? Now, when you are going to be here, you're going to be staying at hotels, and I'll be honest with you, breakfast at hotels or breakfast anywhere in Israel is an affair. Like, you will feel like you're having brunch every single breakfast, and you're like, I don't know if I can do dinner or lunch today because I ate so much at breakfast. That's good because eating here is really expensive. So load up at breakfast. And when you go to those buffets, it's not just like eggs and some bread. It's eggs and bread and hummus and baba ganoush, and you'll have all kinds of cheeses, and we've had pasta. There's all kinds of stuff at breakfast. So you'll be fine after breakfast. And I really honestly recommend you do fill up there because foods can be, I mean, your budget blows when it comes to like having 2 or 3 meals here. So you want to save when you can. And that's one of those things. A really good like money saver here is actually street food throughout the country. It's significantly cheaper just grabbing street food, whether it's a shawarma when you're here like we talked about, or grabbing a slice of pizza, or getting a savich, which is just a pita stuffed with potatoes, tahini, some, you know, salad in there, some parsley, some, of course, the fried eggplant and the hard-boiled egg. Yeah, I mean, you have these things, you're like, wow, it really fills me up and I'm good to go. So definitely have some of those things. And I think for my meat eaters, because I know I've talked about how this is a great vegetarian place, there are some good meats you can have when you're here. One thing is, there's the fish you can have here, St. Peter's fish. If you're in the Sea of Galilee, you kind of feel obligated to have it when you're here. That's one thing you can have. Also, in terms of like meats, I mean, you get a kebab when you're here. No, I'm not talking doner kebab like you get in Germany. Here, it's ground beef and spices, and they smush it on a sword, and they cook it that way, and they grill it, and it can be fantastic, or it can be fast food, but that's a really good thing. You have a lot of chicken here, but what's cool is they like to use the spices and sauces with chicken, so you can do that, and you get like a shashlik, which is basically, you know, a chicken skewer with chunks of chicken in it. I mean, that can be really good too. But if you're like my kids and my dad, you need some fried food, right? And so one of those fried meats you want to have when you're here is schnitzel. And you think, schnitzel, that doesn't sound like that'd be something you'd have here in Israel. Well, you'll have like chicken schnitzel or turkey schnitzel, and so have like a chicken breast, and they'll smash it down real thin. They'll bread it, and then they fry it up, and it's so good. Like schnitzel, you can't go wrong with that, especially if you got kids and they're like not adjusting well to the food because there's so many vegetables. Schnitzel is an easy way to get them to eat some more. Now, if you're looking for drinks when you're here in Israel, one thing I got to tell you, the wine. Israeli wine is actually really good. We were up in the Golan Heights, up in the north by the Sea of Galilee, had some incredible wine, went to vineyards there, but you get good wine throughout the country, and it's local wine. So that's one thing you should really drink when you're here. Another thing is you always have to drink water when you're here because you will get dehydrated. What's great is you can drink the water here, and every restaurant you go to, they'll bring you a bottle of water, like a craft of water. Drink it all because they'll refill it. So you want to make sure you keep hydrated when you're here. Now, going back to the adult beverages, beer is a thing here, you'll see. And there's craft breweries you can go to, so you can get those things. But honestly, some of the just macro brews they have here, exactly. You're looking at, Gold Star and Maccabi are both natural beers that you can get. They're both very good. I prefer Gold Star. It's a bit smoother. What's nice to beer is nice to ice cold because of the heat. So that's a nice thing to have. Another thing I think if you're an adult, if you're in a place like Tel Aviv, in Jerusalem, they do fantastic cocktails here. Like, they do them up right, so you can do well with that. If you're looking for something non-alcoholic, the lemonade here, it's like lemonade with mint in it. It's just fantastic. And they have granite, well, like slush puppies, basically. Passion fruit slush puppies are amazing. Lemon slush puppies. The icy drink. Oh my gosh, you can't go wrong with those when you're here. Lots of fresh fruit juices as well because of where we are. So drinking here, whether you're drinking alcohol or adult beverages, or I guess that's the same thing, or non-alcoholic stuff, you're going to be doing just fine when you're here.
Now, when you travel and you find out about foods from home but are eaten in a completely different way, well, here in Israel, they like to eat watermelon seeds. And I'm not saying when you eat a piece of watermelon, you eat the seeds. Oh, no. I mean, you can do that, but that's weird. There's plenty of watermelon here, but they actually grow watermelons just for the seeds here. And what they do is they roast the watermelon seeds, and then you put it around, chomp it, and you eat the insides, take out the seed, and do that. But yeah, watermelon seeds are actually a thing here that you can have. And the thing is, when you come to Israel, you're also probably going to go to Palestine, whether you're going to Bethlehem or you're going to different parts around the West Bank. I mean, it's not uncommon to go there. And that's one of those things I think you really also need to try when you're here, is some of the Palestinian food, because you will have a lot of Israeli food here, and it's really, really good. But that kind of mix it up a little bit. Some Palestinian food can be fantastic. And one of the things I had the other day at a Palestinian restaurant was Palestinian musakun, and I know I'm butchering that one. Please, my Palestinian friends that are watching this, or my Israeli friends, please make sure you can put the phonetic down, because finding out how to actually say it is a little bit more difficult than actually eating it, because it's really good. So what it is, it's roasted chicken, and the chicken is it's phenomenal, okay? You're going to love that. But the spice they use, there's all spice. You have fried pine nuts in there. You might have sumac will be in there. I mean, it's got this really great flavoring, but it is just like the chicken, and then there's bread in there. Like, I believe it's called like tabor bread or tandoor bread. Like, honestly, if you've had Indian food, think about a naan, like a layer of naan, and then the chicken, and then the sauce that's with it and how it's cooked. I mean, it's really good, okay? And it's such a wonderful flavor. You're going to have that. If you're looking for some snacks, Siha, that's one I loved. I used to have that all the time. Like, when I'd see restaurants, I used to live in Brazil, and they'd have them in one of the restaurants there as like snacks. I loved them. What it is, it's a little flatbread. It's almost like a mini Palestinian pizza. And what it is, it has like ground lamb on top with these spices. I mean, you usually get them in a group of like 5 or so, and don't be surprised if you order a couple baskets, because they are really, really good. And then you got kibbeh, and kibbeh, that's something you'll see all over Israel, and you'll see it in a lot of countries around the world. It looks like a little American football, and so what it is, it's basically a croquette made out of bulgur wheat and meat in it, usually ground up lamb, but it is one of those things that can be quite tasty. You don't see it all over the place, but at Palestinian restaurants, you can find them there, and some Israelis restaurants too, but that's another really good snack you might want to have. And then we have knafeh. If you're not sure what it is, I'll make it easy for you. It's the thing that looks like there's like an orange bird nest on top of it, or it's coated in it. And what it is, it's a pastry. They have this stringy kind of spun pastry on top of it, but it's got a sweet cheese in the middle. And usually if you're at a restaurant, they'll let you cut your own piece, but you'll have a nice slice of that, and that could be a really tasty thing too. Another thing you'll literally see almost at every single restaurant, it's kind of like the go-to dessert when you're here, is malabi. And malabi, the best way I can kind of explain that is, think of it in the terms of like a flan or a like cream custard or a creme brulee, not with the crispy stuff on top, but like that custardy underneath. Think of it like that, but not a lot of sweetness. it's white. It's not a lot of sweetness, but what's nice is you put like this strawberry sauce, which like usually like with rosemary water in it. It's got this nice flavor, but then they have like sprinkles of coconut on top too, and that could be a nice like if you don't want something super sweet, it makes for a nice like cleansing dessert you'll have at restaurants.
Some of the things to remember when you're eating out here in Israel: one, you do tip when you're here. 10 to 15% tip is totally fine, and you don't write it on the check. If you have cash, you just put the cash down. If you're going to be using your credit card, you tell them how much you want your credit card to be charged, and that includes with the tip. So if you get like a 200 shekel bill, you'd say, oh, 220, and they're like, okay, and then they'll charge that to your bill. So your credit card says 220 on it. So if you're expensing it, that can be helpful. Another thing I think is really important when you're going down to eat here is also always ask for the receipt. Now, I'm not saying there's issues that happen, but sometimes an extra zero gets put on a bill here or there, and so you want to make sure that you're making sure everything's on the up and up. So just make sure you ask for the receipt because they know you're going to get it, review it, be like, okay, and pay. A lot of places, they just bring the credit card machine to you so you can check, but it is something that there's been enough stories about this over the years. I think it's important to mention. And when you are here, I would say this in Israel, don't expect the most friendly of service. I mean, it's efficient, they'll take your order, it'll be fine, but just know that you're going to have to wait. You need to have patience when you're here, and they're not going to be, all over you. So if you see your waiter, don't be afraid to be like, hey, could I get another drink? Hey, can I order this? They're not going to be upset by it because people here are very direct, so they don't mind. So you should be direct too as an eater, right? As a patron to a restaurant. So just realize you need to know that before you come, and it'll make life a lot easier for you. And also, when you are here, Shabbat, a lot of the restaurants close Friday night until Saturday evening begins, or some are closed Friday night until Sunday morning. So make sure you're checking to see if they're going to be open if you're looking to go out to eat on Friday night or Saturday night, because that can impact your chances of where you could get some tasty grub when you're here. So what else should tourists eat when they come to Israel? There's so many great things you can have when you're here. Obviously, my list can't take everything in. These are just ones that you're going to have not a hard time finding restaurants that'll serve you such fantastic food. So please, in the comments below, put down food people should have everywhere in Israel and Palestine, but also give you ideas for restaurants for people as well. And I'll say bye from here in Jerusalem.